What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode in which I'm going to be talking about what I have on my Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Now, this is one of the devices that I like to carry around just for its screen size as well as its stylus, what we call the S Pen. But what I wanted to just talk about is kind of how I have mine set up. Now, I am rooted, so I want to let everybody know that. Anybody that's on stock that doesn't have rooted, this video is probably not the best video for you, as it's not really an overview of stock stuff. It's going to be more of stuff that I've kind of done myself that are available for all rooted devices. So as you can see, I am on 4.4.2 on this device. 4.4.4 is really not that much of a difference. It's actually really no difference, to be honest with you. And 5.0 isn't quite out yet for the Note 3. It is out for Samsung Note 3, but it isn't quite put out yet, there. But that's kind of a good thing because there's a lot of glitches, unfortunately, going on with that. But I just wanted to show you what I'm running. For my build number, as you can see, I'm running the Firecat version 12. This is actually version 13, but when I downloaded this, the developer forgot to update the number right there, which is not that big of a deal. And Firecat is by far the fastest and best ROM I have used on the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Now, it is a stock ROM that's been completely manipulated, and it has a lot of additives to it, such as making things in between the Note 4 and the S5, but not quite as much as some of one of the other ROMs that the developer has built. But as you can see, my settings has been turned into the Samsung Galaxy Note 5. You can do this from an exposed ROM, or sorry, an exposed modular, which I'll show you in a second. I do use the Nova launcher as of right now, the Pro version. I jump between this as well as the Google launcher as well, depending on really what I'm doing. If I'm looking for battery life, I'll probably stick with the with the Nova launcher. It just conserves just a little bit more battery. And if I'm looking for something to be more useful, let's say I'm going out and doing stuff throughout the day and I'm in a city I don't know or any of that type of stuff, then I'll usually bounce to my Google Now because it's very informative and it's kind of right at your fingertips. Let's go ahead and jump quickly into what I have going on as well. So you will see some of the exposed modules that I have installed. My modules are going to be these as we see here. So the first one is going to be the blurred system UI, which gives me this effect right here. As you can see, my whole background is blue. If I open that up, I can change that to whatever color I'd like to change it to, as you can see right here. I just like a blue because it works well with the white. What else you can do in that blurred, before I go ahead and get out of there, is you can see I can change the header, the quick settings, the notifications, and the drag handlebar. So you see I have no drag handlebar there, as well as my top settings. They're completely, in tone with the rest of it, as well as each one of these notifications. If I didn't have those checked, it would just be this bottom part that would be all the way blue, and this part, and this part would all be the stock color. Now, getting back out, I also have Greenify installed. Greenify is a must-have for all rooted devices, even non-rooted devices. Greenify is where you can put to sleep the background processes. So if you're using Facebook and you exit out of Facebook, Facebook is still going to be running in the background, and stuff like that is a killer on your battery. It absolutely eats it up. The S5 system UI theme, that's where you can see we can change the quick settings and the recent theme for the Note 3. So that's how I get these up top right here, as well as when I go into my physical settings, I have this. So that's what that is under. Going to the when I'm exposed, this is a must-have as well, just like Greenify for all rooted devices. This is where you can get in here and do truly the most customization towards everything. So this is how you'd come in here and change your lock screen. If you can see all the notifications I can change. This is how I have my heads up enabled on this device. If I want to hide all this type of stuff, if I want to come in here and change, so if I go back out of here and I go to security hacks, I come in here and change a few things as well. Advanced, if you'd like to change a few extra things, but mostly this is for the notification panel. Maybe my sounds, because when I turn on, I hate the boot sound of AT&T logo. Of course, you can change that as well, but if you don't want to change that or you just don't care to, that sound can get annoying, especially if you're a rooter or you turn off your device and you're messing with it all the time, because every time you turn it on, there's over and over again that sound plays. The phone, if you need to add some buttons to your phone. Lock screen's cool because if you don't have a flashlight, you can come in here and you can enable a hidden flashlight, which is the up volume button. Again, there's just so much customization when it comes to that. That's a whole nother video in itself. My exposed gel settings, I do have the pro version of that. When I do go into when I do have the my Google Now launcher set up, that you'll be able to do in here, and this is how you can completely customize your Google Now launcher, such as your typical how you just do everything pretty much. It's a must-have if you're going to do that. There is a non-stock version, or sorry, a non-paid version, and the only difference between a paid version and non-paid version is the ability to manipulate your icons, as well as your notification badges, and then there's a few other things in there, but those are the two main big ones. Xstanza is the next one that I use. Xstanza, I've actually made a video on this. I love this. Xstanza is where you can come in here and you can customize your top bar. So that's how I have my top bar looking like Android L, even though I'm running on 4.4.2. And on the bottom, of course, you can put these buttons. But since I am currently on a Note 3, I don't really need these buttons because I have physical buttons on here. But I have been thinking about buying it anyways and doing some stuff. There's a cool Medusa. And doing, maybe go ahead and getting this, because since the Note 3 is so big, you can utilize both of them. Coming down here into YouTube Add Away, I don't know why I really use this, to be honest with you. I don't really have a problem with the ads. And now that I think about it, I still get ads. So this is not necessarily going to rid you of all ads. It's just going to rid you maybe of some of them. It probably needs to be updated. I don't even think it works. So I'll just go ahead and take that off. And that's pretty much it when it comes to how my basic setup is. My basic setup gets me when I don't have Greenify really working right now, or I haven't set it up yet. But I was looking at my battery. Where's my battery on here? And I had some quite a good time on it. So when I got to this bottom yellow peak, this first peak at the bottom here, I was at about 16 hours, 15 hours. I actually probably had more than that. I probably had about 16 and a half hours at that point right there. So it's good to know, I get about on average, and I'm a heavy user. As you can see, that line went straight down almost. And at that moment, that's when I was nonstop on my device for the most part. And I was definitely using it quite a lot, such as downloading ROMs, as well as, installing stuff, excuse me, and all that type of stuff. So it's definitely a must-have, as well as browsing Google+, and Google+ is definitely a battery eater. And I guess that's it when it comes to, my setup for my Android device. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. The reason is because I use the S Pen quite a bit, so I don't really want to change too much in it. I do like using the scrapbook, the S Note. Sometimes I'll use the S Note if I'm in a hurry, if I want to take down some numbers or any of that type of stuff. Yeah, and that's it. If you do have any questions or comments and you see things on here that I maybe not have mentioned, you can always ask that in the questions, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.